In this podcast episode, Mark Halperin, a seasoned political analyst and journalist, shares his insights on the upcoming election, the dynamics of the Trump administration, and the potential psychological impact of a Trump victory on the left. Halperin begins by discussing the rollout of a new six-part documentary series titled All the President's Men, directed by Sean Stone. This series delves into the events surrounding the first Trump administration from 2016 to 2020, focusing on the alleged actions of the deep state, particularly the intelligence and law enforcement agencies under the influence of Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama. Halperin emphasizes that the series aims to present shocking revelations through interviews with individuals affected by these events, challenging viewers' understanding of American democracy. Transitioning to the current political climate, Halperin expresses his belief that the upcoming election could be less competitive than many predict. He argues that while some analysts suggest a close race, he sees a higher likelihood of Trump winning decisively. He points out that various factors typically used to gauge electoral success favor Trump, with four notable exceptions that Democrats are banking on. These exceptions include the abortion issue, the gender gap in voting, the strength of Harris's ground game, and Trump's perceived ceiling in voter support. Halperin highlights the abortion issue as a significant factor that could sway voters. He notes that while public polls currently show abortion trailing behind other issues like the economy and immigration, there is an emotional weight to the topic that may not be fully captured in the data. He suggests that the emotional resonance of abortion could mobilize voters in ways that traditional polling might not reflect. This potential for a hidden surge in pro-choice sentiment could be a game changer in the election. The gender gap in voting patterns is another critical element Halperin discusses. He points out that women tend to vote at higher rates than men, and many women harbor negative feelings toward Trump. This demographic could play a crucial role in determining the election's outcome. Halperin emphasizes that if Harris can effectively mobilize female voters, it could significantly impact her chances of winning. However, he also acknowledges that Trump's campaign is aware of this dynamic and is working to counteract it. Halperin also examines Harris's ground game, noting that her campaign is being run by individuals with extensive experience in field operations. He argues that this could give her an edge in mobilizing voters, particularly in battleground states. However, he cautions that Trump's efforts to demonize early voting could complicate matters. If the race is close, the mechanics of voter turnout could be worth several percentage points, potentially tipping the scales in Harris's favor. Another point Halperin raises is the notion of Trump's voter ceiling. He suggests that if the third-party vote remains low, it could limit Trump's ability to secure a majority. He describes a scenario where Trump might struggle to surpass 47% of the vote due to factors like voter fatigue and the lingering effects of January 6. This ceiling could create an opening for Harris to capitalize on, especially if she can effectively communicate her platform to undecided voters. Despite the challenges, Halperin notes a prevailing sense of confidence among Republicans regarding their chances in the upcoming election. He observes that many Republicans are not just optimistic, but are already planning for a potential victory, including taking control of the House and Senate. This confidence contrasts sharply with the anxiety and uncertainty expressed by Democrats, who are increasingly worried about Harris's viability as a candidate. Halperin discusses the role of polling in shaping perceptions of the race. He pointed out that both parties rely on internal polling to gauge their standing, but the methodologies can differ significantly. Public polls often reflect a skewed representation of the electorate, particularly if they do not accurately account for likely voters. Halperin emphasizes that private polling, which is more expensive and rigorous, tends to provide a clearer picture of voter sentiment. The podcast also touches on the internal struggles within the Democratic Party. Halperin notes that many Democrats are grappling with the decision to support Harris, given her perceived weaknesses as a candidate. He highlights the frustration among some party members who feel that they have been left with a candidate who may not be able to effectively challenge Trump. This internal conflict could further complicate the party's efforts to rally support ahead of the election. Halperin reflects on the impact of Biden's presidency on the current political landscape. He suggests that Biden's administration has not been as effective as many had hoped, leading to a sense of disillusionment among voters. This disillusionment could translate into support for Trump, particularly if voters feel that their needs are not being met by the current administration. Halperin emphasizes that the perception of Biden's effectiveness will play a crucial role in shaping voter sentiment in the upcoming election. One of the more provocative points Halperin made was his prediction of a significant mental health crisis among left-leaning voters if Trump were to win the election. He argues that the psychological impact of such a victory would be profound, leading to feelings of despair and disconnection among those who view Trump as a threat to democracy. Halperin suggests that this crisis could manifest in various ways, including increased anxiety and depression. Halperin does not shy away from discussing the potential for violence in the wake of a Trump victory. He acknowledges that both sides of the political spectrum are capable of resorting to violence, particularly if they feel their beliefs are under threat. He emphasizes the importance of responsible leadership in mitigating these tensions and preventing escalation. He expresses hope that if Trump were to win, he would recognize the need for unity and work to address the concerns of those who oppose him. Halperin also highlights the importance of governors in shaping the political landscape. He argues that governors play a critical role in managing the fallout from elections and addressing the concerns of their constituents. In the event of a Trump victory, he suggests that governors will need to take proactive measures to ensure public safety and maintain order. Halperin also speculates on the future of the Democratic Party in the event of a Trump victory. He suggests that the party will need to undergo significant soul-searching and reevaluation of its strategies and messaging. This introspection could lead to a shift in priorities and a renewed focus on addressing the concerns of voters who feel alienated by the current political landscape. Halperin emphasizes that the party's ability to adapt to changing circumstances will be crucial for its long-term viability. In conclusion, Mark Halperin's insights into the upcoming election, the dynamics of the Trump administration, and the potential psychological impact of a Trump victory provide a thought-provoking analysis of the current political landscape. His observations on the state of the race, the challenges facing both parties, and the broader implications for American society highlight the complexities of the electoral process and the need for thoughtful engagement in the face of uncertainty.